Just another look on the board as we've got another sticker from Australia. Mark Presling. I don't know if any of you guys know Mark Presling, but a fantastic tuber. He's a right engineer, a great guy. He's making something now at the moment, something fancy. So sticker boards still getting full. Anybody want to do some sticker swaps? Not a problem. Hi guys, I'm back. This video, it's probably much to do about nothing. Just a bit of a catch up really. Bit of an odd week because you know the strong winds we've had. Well, it blew all my fence, or quite a few fence panels to hell. So my plan was to get up early every morning and go out and do them, but every morning it either peed it down or it was windy, so it been a difficult task. Anyway, on Friday morning I woke up at about 9:30 in the morning, another late night. I thought I must get up and go do that fence. It was blown right over, twisted itself right round, pulled out a concrete post at one side and it was fastened to a wooden post at the other end. It ripped it to bits, and I thought I need to get my bum out of bed and go do it, so I went down, got some breakfast. Thought, yeah, it's not a bad day today, and I opened the door and the fence panel had been repaired by next door neighbour. I felt a bit guilty really, but at least somebody else had done it. What else? A little bit of a shout out actually. You know, I did the giveaway of those carriage locks. Well, one of the guys had contacted me. He'd seen me making that carriage stop, and he'd noticed that if you saw me when I was over on the mill and I was banging that plug tap through it, it was tight as hell, it was very screechy, and I suspected that even though they were good old quality taps, that they were probably pretty much worn out. Whitworth 5/16. Anyway, Norman is on my board here. He owns a company called NP Motor Services, which is down in Oxton, Birkenhead. He contacted me to thank me for sending him one of those that he'd won, and said, it looks like you were struggling with your tapping, would you like a set of BSW taps? Sorry, BSF, not BSW, BSF taps. And I said, well, that's a lovely gesture, thank you very much. He says, give me your address. So I gave him my address, and he sent me this, looks like a Storident bottle, Eva Cal, and in it, a lovely set of 5/16 BSF taps, number 1, 2 and a plug, and they're absolutely great. Yeah, British made, lovely. Thank you very much for that, Norman. Superb. They will get used. I didn't expect anything in return. And anybody else who won any of those or anything else, I don't ever expect nothing in return. It was just, they were sat there and doing nothing. So what else? Right. Car bootings and auto jumbles. All you engineering guys, I'm sure, go to car booties and auto jumbles. This morning it just happened to be a local one in Leeds at Sherburn in Helmet, the Squire's Cafe. There weren't much doing actually, but I did get a couple of things and I'll show you what I got. It's quite ridiculous really, but I'm going to show you first of all a sheet of paper. Right, this is from Hemingway's Tools, Hemingway's Kits, and as you know, I made this sensitive nailing tool. You've seen my videos, and in it is some little nailing wheels. Now I tried to buy those nailing wheels online, but they're such a size that to fit this that I'd machined to the drawings, I couldn't get any. So I had to buy them from Hemingway's Chit. Let's see if we can zoom in on that, and I'm going to point to which ones there were. Fine knurling diamond. My fingers at the side of the price. If you can see that, you definitely can, because I can see it from little camera. £28.95. Just hang on, I've gone dry. £28.95 for a pair, which I thought were absolutely ridiculous. So today at the car booty, let's move round a bit. These nails, they come in pairs. Yeah, that's a pair. Now these wouldn't have fit that nailing tool, it's too fat. But obviously if I'd have been designing my own nailing tool, I could have made them to take any nails I wanted. Two pairs, a pair there and a pair there. They're brand new, never been used. There's some numbers and names on, but I don't know where they were made, but they certainly look to be tough things. So £28.95 a pair. I says to the guy, how much are your nails? He had a box full of them. He had loads and loads of them. He says, I don't know. He says, I don't know, 50 pence each. So they were £1 for a pair. £2 worth there. 4 nails, £2. He had some other bits. It's a load of HSS cutting stuff, but I don't really need any. But I have got some centre drills, and they're getting a little bit blunt at end. And I picked that one up and looked at it, and it was a dormer. And it's, apart from a little bit of staining on the side, it's a dormer one, and it's brand new. Both tips, never drilled in all. You can tell they're clean as a whistle, them tips. Well, I don't know how much these are, because you guys probably could tell me. Let me just flip my screen up so I can see what's happening here. So you guys maybe know how much these are, because I've never bought a new one, but would I be out of way if I said £4? £4.50? £5, £6? I don't know. I've no idea how much they are. But so that's the larger one. It's a BS4. So I guess it's a number 4. That's about 3/8 diameter. 50 pence. Give us 50 pence, he says. I says, aye, okay. As if I won't get in a bargain. This is another one. This is I'll call it a spotting drill. It's probably too long for a spotting drill, really, but it comes right to a single point. You know how they do a spotting drill? How they come to a right sharp point at the end, so that they go straight into the work. 50 pence. I've got a load of these off a guy at Rufford Auto Jumble. I think it was between 25 and 50 pence each. Now these are smaller centre drills, but I don't know, they're blued as if they're like carbide. I don't know what they are, but they look good. Again, never used. Brand new on tips. Really small tips they are. Not going to focus. Don't do it like that. No, I'm not close. And I got a load of those, and they're all for nothing. The point I'm making is, car boot is not a jumbles, you can't go wrong. I mean, I got that a couple of years ago for a guy, and that was a tenner, and that's that lovely one, that dial test one. You've probably seen me show it before, but it rotates, and it's a right eye. Was it upside down? No. 0, 0, 0. You know, it's like, is it 5 zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. That's in inches. In millimeters, I mean, that's like 1.419 millimeters. Really, really good, and it's right accurate. It's a lovely thing. I had to put a new battery in it. That was a tenner. How much would one of them things cost? I ain't got a clue. It's called a Dji test. That's go on, good make. Albrecht. Apart from this coming loose once, I had to tighten it back up. I give a tenner for that. I've had that about 2 years. Carboti, a tenner. There's just so many. More than right, not to ones. £2 there were. £2. I think I paid £1 for that. Big fat drill. I don't know what it is it 12 or 14? No, it's bigger than that, isn't it? Have a look. Nearly 17mm diameter that. It actually must be 16 because it does go in that Albrecht chuck. Sure it does. And I think that finishes at 16. So have a look. Oh no, it doesn't. So it's, yeah. There's no size on it. So it don't go in that chuck. Yeah. What? What? Mind your own business. I'm not telling you what's in there. I'm showing that next. Alright. Right guys, I'll just move everything round. I'll show you something else that come from, well, not a car booty, but eBay. Cheap. Do I buy out new? You shouldn't be asking that question because you know the answer. So buying stuff second hand. See if you can see this. I'm pointing to this item here. 55 £55 plus postage. I think it was 60 quid, so it must have been a fiver. What is it? It's this little bad boy. You've seen me flashing pictures around garage, you'll see that I've got stickers everywhere. And I bought this, it's a brother printer. And what a lovely thing it is too. Brand new, second hand. Guy bought it and never used it. It was still in its official wrapper. In fact, looking at that, I haven't even had that pulled off yet, look. Still got sticky tape on it. What's plugging in? It is battery operated, but obviously it's gone flat with not being used. There's an adapter for it. But what a lovely printer that is. This opens up. And you put your cassettes in there. And it takes anything from the 12mm ones, these little ones, which just fit in like that. That's one in. It goes right up to 24, which is the much wider one. I've got a load of printer cartridges for it. It only came with a demo one. Fantastic. 60 quid. Don't know how much they are new, but you can do all sorts of preset things that's in them like that. And there's every kind of font you can think of. Yeah. It's even got fancy things like Christmassy things with holly and stuff on. It's got a massive memory with obviously all sorts of stuff in there. Lovely thing. I'm going to leave that out actually because I need to plug it in to charge it. If the battery's flat, let's charge it. Been stood a while. You know what, hang on a minute. No, it takes batteries. It wants batteries. They're not rechargeable. So it runs off the mains or batteries, but they're not rechargeable. It needs some new batteries. It's been stood all winter. I think last time I used it must have been about maybe August last year. Let's close it up. Lovely thing though. I don't regret buying that because I lent it to my mate who does all classic car stuff, and he's done all his garage with it. He just bought a couple of these off eBay, and he's just done loads of stuff in his garage. What else we got to show you? Mind your own business. I'm going to show them. So, let's, you know, like when you get down in dumps and a bit peed off, and you think, well, I haven't bought no for myself for ages. Because when I buy out for garage in here, it's not for me, is it? It's for garage. It's not to do with me. Not buying it for me. It's not like buying a box of chocolates. Anything for in here is for in here. I just use what's in here, don't I? But this is for me. We're off away in a few weeks, and I thought I could do with taking something nice with me. Last year, as you've seen some of my videos, if you like watching them all, probably not, but we went to Forteventura and I did quite a bit. I did one eating out in Forteventura, which I've had, I think, something like 6,000 views on that, and lots of responders. And travelling around Forteventura, I love to drive, so we hired a car and I drove all over. Long story, but go look at that video. We're going again in a few weeks' time, just me and Bev, my landlady, self-catering just for a week to Coletta di Fusta. We're going again in July, August for a couple of weeks, all inclusive, with my son and grandkids and everything, but this one, just me and Bev, get away, just fed up. And I'll be probably hiring a car again, because I love hiring cars, and I always love doing lots of videos, as you know. So, what have I got in here to help me doing my videos? You might have a tip on the last one, because I mentioned something about a pilot's licence. Did I buy it new? Don't ask stupid questions. No. I bought this second hand. Again, I've got a receipt off guy. He bought this in, let's have a look, you know, see half my mush. He bought this, did this guy, in March last year, and he paid £550 for it. Now, he said he'd hardly used it, but you know when somebody says never raced or rallied and clutch is knackered? Well, this guy said he'd hardly used it and baby were coming along and he needed money, blah blah blah, and he sold it to me on eBay. But you take it with a pinch of salt and you think, yeah, of course you did, you know, you've not used it much. But what I didn't know was, with this piece of kit I'm going to show you, is when you power it up and you clip your phone into it, it tells you all the history. It records it forever. You can't delete it. It's probably a police thing, I don't know, aviation authorities, that you can't delete out if you had a crash and you said you didn't. They know if you did, because it's all on there. So what have I got? I've got that. And give you an idea of that, how big it is, because that's my mobile phone. So that's how big it is. It's a drone. It's a little DJI drone. And what a lovely thing. Now, I've never flown a drone. I've never flown bugger all. But today, for the first time, I tried it out, and it was good. I loved it. Right, enjoyed it. I did some footage, of which you'll see right now. Okay, so that were me flying it today, and I right enjoyed it. A bit nervous because at first time I'm thinking this thing is going to come down and crash heavily, but it won't, because if you come down quick it just gets to a metre from floor and it goes zoom and stops there. It's amazing, right, lovely thing, dead clever. Yeah, basically all you do with that is you take this fancy little cover off and you fold out the wings, and then the back ones fold out like that, and you've got yourself a drone. Awesome. It's got a full gimbal on front here with a 4K camera in it, and believe me or not, this thing will fly in a 40 mile an hour wind. So in the wind it's like that, it's all over the place in wind, keeping itself where GPS is telling it to be. But when you look at the video that's coming out of it, dead calm. It's like the new GoPro 10. I think that's same, you can bounce them all over with your videos. It's all to do with this gimbal. Very, very clever. Technology, amazing. Lovely thing. Very expensive piece of kit, but I didn't buy it new, I bought it second hand, and it's my little toy. And why did I buy this one? I'll tell you why. Let me put this cover back on, because I'm frightened to death of doing some damage to it. Put this on. Keeps propellers in. But I mean, look at that. Look, move down a bit. It's in my pocket. This is a drone that'll fly over 6 mile. It'll do 35 mile an hour, and it'll go 2 mile in sky. You're only allowed to go 400 foot, and I've set it to do that, but you can unset it and you can go meet an aeroplane. It's a stupid thing to do, wouldn't it? But you wouldn't want to do it, would you, really? But what a lovely thing. So just hang on a second. So that's my present for me. That's my little present. Now what else come with it? So you get that. This is called a Fly More package. You can buy that drone. It comes with that remote control and 1 battery. I don't even think it comes with a charger or anything. It's USB, you just stick it in wall or whatever. But if you buy the Fly More kit, which is why I think they're 420 quid. Excuse me, the Fly More kit's 550 odd quid. But with that, you get a controller, you get your drone, you get a charger, which we're missing, and the leads, and you get these 3 batteries. Now these are very clever. These batteries have got not just memory, they're intelligent. They're all fully charged. Tells you with lights, 1, 2, 3 or 4. If I plug that in to charge, it'll charge in this cassette, but it only does 1 battery at a time. I'm not doing a drone lesson here, I'm just telling guys, you know, my new gadget. So it came with all them, and they've all charged up fully, and so I flew it today and it's been fantastic, loved it. That's great. Controller, it's got little joysticks that are in little holders here, and you just screw them in, so the joystick part. And then it's got all the controls that you need, and then you pull up this part and your mobile phone fits in there, and your mobile phone is the drone flying screen. You don't have a screen, that's your mobile phone. Absolutely superb, and your little lead plugs in at bottom, plugs in at the end of your phone, and you control it with that. It's absolutely awesome. I'm hoping to do some really good video with that. And as I say, we're going to take that abroad with us. I'm going to probably put the drone in my suitcase, but all the batteries in my hand luggage, because you've got to be careful. It does take a bit of power, so I bought a couple of these chargers. These are the super fast 25 watt chargers, so it charges really quick. a normal charger, or if you plug them into the wall, they're not very good. It's right slow. So guys, that's my new present to myself. You might say you don't deserve that, you old bugger, but what the hell, you're only here once, aren't you? If you can afford it, do it. So a little bit my kids' inheritance has been spent. I've done a little video of it, you've seen it. It flies, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I suppose it's because I'm an old fart that, you know, it's more amazing to me. Probably to some young kid, they'll probably think nothing of it at all. But I mean, some of these drones, they're huge. I mean, there's one that's on the internet, the guy, it carries 15 pounds in weight. I mean, Amazon talking about doing deliveries with them soon. Amazing. Why did I buy that particular one? Just hang on and I shall tell you. There's a reason why I got that particular one. There's always a reason for everything, isn't there? Because I did quite a lot of homework into it, because I wasn't sure. Drone, I fancy a drone. Do you get one that big? Do you get one that big? I ain't got a clue. How much do you spend on one? How long's a piece of string? But the deeper you get into it, the more you start finding out about rules. And there's a lot of rules on drones. Now, I've set my licence, which is not a real licence. It's only a drone flies. Gives you a licence number, you can stick it on your drone. I've also got a flyer ID. I sat an exam. It's 40 questions with UK government, I think, or with Aviation Authority. You sit an exam. It's 40 questions, and if you get more than 30 right, you pass. You can sit it as many times as you want. You can even sit with the book open, apparently, that you learn from. But it was late one night, and I thought, oh, sod it. I'll just sit exam. If I fail it, I'll just do it again, and I'll read book. I went on, and there were some questions, you know. There's a group of scouts camping in a field. You've got your drone in the next field. Is it okay to fly your drone over the top of the kids in this scout camp and video them? We'll obviously answer. Also, if they give you a bloody answer, it's a 3 multi-choice question thing. So, you know, one is no, you can't do that, and one is yeah, it's okay, and one was something else. But obviously, the answer to that is no, you can't do that. You know, I am flying as a drone in my street, and I see somebody's curtains open. Is it okay to zoom in and look into their house? No, it's not. And they're the type of questions, you know, 50 metres from a building, 400 feet high, maximum height, and all sorts. But I knew all that and put it in, and bloody hell, I passed it in about 20 minutes. Couldn't believe it. And it was £9 for a licence for a year. Still haven't told you why about that drone. I bought that drone because it's called a DJI Mini 2. At the moment, it's probably the best available drone that there is. Not because it's super fast or anything it's capable of, other than it weighs 249 grams. And the UK law, and in most countries in world law, said if you've got a drone that weighs over 250 grams and it's not a toy and it has a camera, you cannot fly it without a full license. You can't fly it near a building, you can't fly it over people. There's massive rules, huge amount of rules. If you've got a drone under 250 grams, 249, that's not a toy, with a camera, you can fly over buildings, near people, over people, not in crowds. So you couldn't go to a football match and zoom into that, you couldn't do that. But it's quite lenient at what you can do. So I went for that one specifically for that reason. It's really fast, it's fantastic in wind, which they all rave about, but I can zoom up and down straight, and as long as I keep up out of the way and don't come down to level of a house, keep well above it, and above all to phone lines and stuff, I should be okay. I've got loads of stuff planned, you know. We go out on motorbikes in summer, and I'll be taxing my bike soon. And when I do, that's going in back on my back box, definitely. I mean, we go to one of my videos, I might have done it on YouTube, I don't know, but I did one on the Bandit for life because I put music on it. I didn't realise, and I put music on it. What a fantastic video it was. I'm on my Multistrada 1200, which is a beast, fast bike, and we were giving it some right well, and there were 6 of us, and we went to Ribblhead Viaduct, and then from Ribblhead we went down to Horst at Cheese Factory, Wensleydale Cheese Factory. What a lovely day it was, and I put it all on YouTube, and they scratched it. But we're going to go probably back this year. I'm going to take that drone with me, and I'm going to fly it over. It's about 1.5 miles from where we park up. I'm going to fly it over to Ribblhead Viaduct and do some videoing at Viaduct. In fact, wherever we go, Scarborough, Brid, Whitby, Filey, wherever we go, I'll get that out. It only takes about 2 minutes to set it up and have it in the air. The longest thing is waiting for GPS signal. It picks like 15 satellites up, and once it's done that, it knows exactly where it is, so when you return to home, it comes exactly back to you. You can't take off till you've got all that set up. But other than that, I'm right looking forward to using it, and I will be posting stuff on YouTube. I think it's time I buggered off, lads. Nothing about the garage really tonight, but it was just one of them. In fact, if John sees this, it's a workshop blether, John. You do plenty of them, you bugger. See you later, guys. Bye.